What if happiness isn't real? Not just hard to find, but fundamentally misunderstood. We chase it, define our lives around it, plan futures on the assumption it's waiting for us. But the closer we get, the more it slips away. So let's pause. Let's really ask, is happiness just a feeling, a fleeting mood, or is it an illusion designed to keep us moving without ever arriving? Part 1. What even is happiness? Let's start simple. What is happiness? The dictionary might call it a state of well-being and contentment, but words don't explain how it feels or why it fades. Different cultures define it differently. In ancient Greece, it was eudaimonia, a kind of flourishing. Not pleasure, but living in accordance with virtue. In Buddhism, happiness is the absence of craving. It's not something you get. It's what's left when you let go. And in the modern West, happiness is sold to us through vacations, smartphones, live, laugh, love, wall art. It's become a product, a brand, a performance. So which of these is the truth? Or are they all fragments of a concept we've never fully understood? Part 2. The hedonic treadmill. Psychology has a term, the hedonic treadmill. You get a promotion, a new partner, a bigger home, and you feel happy for a while. But your brain adapts. Fast, it resets your baseline. You return to normal, and so you want more. You chase again. We run harder and harder on a treadmill that never ends. Evolution didn't design us to be content. It designed us to survive, to move forward. Contentment is stillness, and stillness in nature can be fatal. So your mind pulls you toward pleasure, and then denies you lasting peace. Is that a flaw in the system, or is it the system itself? Part 3. Is it a chemical illusion? Let's get more mechanical. Neuroscience tells us that happiness is just chemistry. Dopamine for pleasure, serotonin for mood, oxytocin for bonding. Take a pill, change the balance, feel the effect. But if joy can be triggered with a tablet, is it still real? This is Robert Nozick's experience machine. Imagine, you're offered a perfect simulation, eternal bliss, no pain, no fear. Would you plug in? Most people say no, because we don't just want to feel good. We want our lives to mean something. So maybe pleasure isn't the goal. Maybe it's a shadow of something deeper. Part 4. The paradox of happiness. Here's the paradox. The more you chase happiness, the more it runs from you. Try to be happy the way you try to win a race, and you'll always come up short. Why? Because happiness doesn't like being watched. It visits when you're not looking, when you're painting, laughing, walking at sunrise. Not because you're trying to be happy, but because you're living fully without self-monitoring. Maybe happiness isn't a destination. Maybe it's a byproduct of presence, of purpose, of love. Or maybe it's not something you find. Maybe it's something you create by how you live. Part 5. So, is it real? So, is happiness real? Yes, but maybe not in the way we expect. It's not a permanent state, not a trophy, not a checkbox on a to-do list. It's fleeting, fragile, often invisible until it's gone, but it's also revealing. It shows us what matters. The person who makes you laugh, the moment you lose track of time, the work you do even if no one applauded. These aren't random sparks. They're signposts. Not the meaning of life, but clues to where you might begin looking. Maybe happiness isn't something to find. Maybe it's something to notice. In the quiet breath before a thought. In the memory you didn't know mattered. In the space between needing and having. So the next time you wonder whether happiness is real, ask a different question. What makes you feel alive? And follow that.